What happens when a music mogul's empire starts crumbling under the weight of secrets too dark to stay buried? Sean Diddy Combs is in the fight of his life, facing charges that could lock him away forever, and a leaked video has everyone talking. Whispers of Jay-Z's name being tangled in this mess only make it juicier. Let's dive into the courtroom drama that's shaking the music world to its core. The trial kicked off in New York City this May, and it's a doozy. Diddy's staring down federal charges: sex trafficking, racketeering, and more. If the gavel slams against him, he's looking at life behind bars. The prosecution came out swinging with a piece of evidence that hit like a freight train: a 2016 hotel surveillance video. It's not some blurry, questionable clip. This is crystal clear footage of Diddy beating, kicking, and dragging his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a Los Angeles hallway. The judge called it admissible, and legal experts are saying it's the nail in the coffin. The courtroom must have felt like it stopped breathing when that tape played. But that's just the start. Cassie's testimony is where things get gut-wrenching. Cassie Ventura, an R&B star who dated Diddy for nearly 11 years, took the stand on May 16, 2025, and her words painted a nightmare. She was only 19 when she signed with Diddy's Bad Boy Records, putting her under his control, professionally and personally. She described a relationship where Diddy called every shot: her apartment, her car, even her medical records. But the real horror came during what the prosecution calls freak-offs, marathon hotel room sessions fueled by drugs like ecstasy and cocaine, lasting up to 4 days. Cassie said she was coerced into degrading acts, sometimes involving bodily fluids, that left her feeling humiliated and worthless. She begged Diddy to stop, saying, "I just want to be with you," but he allegedly kept pushing. Worse, she claims he recorded these encounters, using the videos as blackmail to keep her in line. Imagine the betrayal: someone you love turning your most vulnerable moments into a weapon. But Cassie's not alone. Others saw the darkness firsthand. 2 witnesses have backed up Cassie's story, and their accounts are chilling. Israel Flores, an LAPD officer working security at the Hotel Intercontinental in 2016, testified on May 12th about responding to a distress call. He saw Cassie with a purple eye, desperate to leave, but Diddy told her, "You're not going anywhere." Flores said Diddy slipped him a stack of cash, whispering, "Take care of this for me, don't tell anyone." That's not a tip, that's hush money. Then there's Daniel Phillip, a male review manager who claims he was paid thousands to engage in intimate acts with Cassie while Diddy watched and directed, sometimes filming. Phillip saw Diddy drag Cassie by her hair, screaming, "When I tell you to come, you come now." He even said Diddy photographed his driver's license, which he took as a threat. "I know where you live." These aren't just allegations, they're pieces of a terrifying puzzle. And there's another accuser who makes this pattern impossible to ignore. Jane Doe, a single mom who met Diddy in 2020, told prosecutors a story that mirrors Cassie's. After a few months of dating, Diddy allegedly pulled her into his freak-offs, promising to cover her rent and support her child. When she resisted, he turned violent, choking her, lifting her by the neck, and kicking her to the ground. Prosecutors say he once stormed her home after an argument, dragged her by her hair, and forced her to cover a black eye before participating in more coerced acts. This isn't love or jealousy, it's control, plain and simple. Using someone's livelihood and their kid's stability as leverage. That's a power trip, not a relationship. But just when you think it can't get weirder, a name from the past pops up with a story that's raising eyebrows. Enter Jonathan Audi, a man who made headlines in 2018 after a bizarre incident at the Trump National Doral Hotel in Miami. He trashed the lobby, waved a gun, and ranted about Diddy, claiming he was their sex slave. At the time, people wrote him off as unhinged, but his story's getting a second look. Audi said he had 15 intimate encounters with Cassie, directed by Diddy, who'd watch and pleasure himself. He even claimed a $5 million settlement and an NDA to stay quiet, though there's no hard proof of the payout. His ex-wife, Tanya Troutwine, backs the NDA claim, saying it was signed around their 2014 split. Audi also talked about liquid cocaine in Diddy's circle, which lines up with other claims about drugs like pink cocaine being passed around. Sure, Audi's story has some wild, conspiracy-level bits. But the overlap with Cassie and Philip's testimonies is hard to dismiss. Could he be a piece of this twisted puzzle? And then there's the Jay-Z question that's got everyone buzzing. Jay-Z's name isn't just floating around for no reason. A refiled lawsuit from 2000 alleges he was involved in a serious assault alongside Diddy, though nothing's been proven in court. During jury selection, potential jurors were asked about their familiarity with Jay-Z, alongside names like Michael B. Jordan, who reportedly dated Cassie after Diddy and faced threats for it. Why bring up Jay-Z? Was it just his long friendship with Diddy? Or is there more we don't know? Diddy's parties, billed as inclusive, star-studded bashes, might have been the perfect cover for darker deeds. The whispers about Jay-Z are just the tip of the iceberg. His name adds fuel to a fire that's already raging. Speaking of those parties, let's peel back the curtain on what really went down. These freak-offs weren't your typical Hollywood ragers. Prosecutors say they were carefully orchestrated, with Diddy controlling every detail: outfits, room temperature, even the drugs. Witnesses claim MDMA, GHB, and a substance called doozy, or pink cocaine, kept people awake and compliant for days. Rodney Jones, a former producer, filed a lawsuit alleging Diddy's chief of staff carried fanny packs stuffed with cocaine, ecstasy, and gummies, like some twisted party favor system. Cassie said she hated these sessions, but felt forced to play along, viewing it as her job. 4 days of non-stop coercion, fueled by drugs and threats, isn't a party, it's a nightmare. The fact that Diddy's PR machine kept his alleged 2012 overdose hush-hush shows how deep his influence ran. But this trial's exposing cracks in that armor, and it's raising bigger questions. This isn't just about Diddy. It's about an industry that let whispers of abuse slide for decades. His parties were legendary, attended by A-listers who now face a tough choice: speak up or stay silent. The defense is trying to spin this as consensual, pointing to Cassie's substance struggles to undermine her, but that's a weak play in 2025. Blaming victims doesn't fly like it used to. With more witnesses set to testify, including 3 anonymous accusers, who else might get pulled into this? The music world's holding its breath, wondering if this trial will spark a reckoning. Cassie's courage, laying bare years of trauma, might just change how we see power and accountability in entertainment. So, where does this leave us? Diddy's facing a potential life sentence, and the evidence, tapes, witnesses, and all, paints a grim picture. Cassie's story, backed by others, shows a pattern of control, violence, and exploitation that's hard to unsee. As the trial rolls on, more secrets will spill, and names like Jay-Z might keep surfacing. Will justice rewrite the rules for music's elite, or will power protect its own again? Drop your thoughts below and stay locked in. This story's far from over.